It is up, everyone. This is Captain Eon speaking, and I'm hoping to clearly convey my thoughts from today's treatment, which I've entitled Death by Environment. Now, it is my sincere belief that it is our surroundings that shape us. Society, science, whatever you want to call it, human knowledge and intuition says that it's our genetics. We are predisposed and preconditioned to life. However, they're kind of pulling back from this idea. And that really lines up with my understanding that we're all born a blank slate. While there may be personalities that develop, actually, we're all born blank. And over time, our environments, even from being in the womb, begins shaping us into who we ultimately become. Referring to science again, in lab experiments, you can have a petri dish, which is ultimately in a controlled environment. And you can put something healthy in there and introduce something healthy into a toxic environment, and it will destroy this healthy organism. Sickness, from my understanding, in the body occurs because of an acidic environment. When we get out of the pH balance, it begins becoming a conducive environment for sickness and disease. Denzel Washington actually was quoted, and you can take whatever you catch online and social media with a grain of salt, because everything is cut together. But this particular reference was him at some award show or something, and he was talking about environment. And just roughly quoting him, he says, hey, it starts in the home, talking about family. And when the father's not in the home, then a child, especially males, will go and seek that guidance from the streets. And when the streets are allowed to become the parent to a child, this harsh and unforgiving environment, then the ultimate outcome is death or jail becoming the home. And I roughly translated that. And all of this really builds upon today's main idea that comes from chapter 18, verse 8. And this is when there was a battle going on. What's new, right? During this time, it was always a fight somewhere, a battle. But in this particular battle, in this verse, it actually says that more were defeated by the environment, the forest, than actually that died by the sword. So this got me thinking about just society in general, and how our proximity to everything going on in the world has gotten so much closer, and we are exposed to it in such greater frequency. Social media and television and things of that nature bombarding us with the darkness and the hazards of this dying world. And so I started going back to say, you know what? It's not necessarily the word of God, the sword, that is really destroying us. It's not the truth. It's the hazardous environment that we are allowing to encroach even more into our lives. Me speaking personally, of course. I remember back in the day, in the organization that I came up in, for the leaders, it was important for them to keep their environment very sanitized. So they didn't have televisions in their homes and things, and they didn't go out to, like, of course, clubs, but like movies and big time worldly social gatherings, because they wanted to remain sterilized again. They wanted to keep a social distance between their spirit and those things of the world that wanted to come in and make them more acidic, to create disease and sickness and things. So from today's lesson, I believe God is emphasizing the importance of PPE, or personal protection equipment, which he refers to as his whole armor, as well as this, coupled with the daily spiritual treatments in order to cleanse and keep the pH balance, so to say, equal or in check in the internal spiritual environment. These things are utterly important to maintain a healthy new man. And that's what I got from today. Thank you for allowing me to share. Caption this, and I'm getting a clearer idea of the proverbial forest for the trees.